Welcome back to Tales and Fails Miniatures. Today we'll be reviewing the D&D Icon of the Realms Adult Black Dragon Corruptor. This is the new version of the Adult Black Dragon that's based off the 2024 Monster Manual. I think this thing is sick, and I'm really excited to get into it, so let's do that. First thoughts, it's a lot smaller than I was expecting. It is on a huge base, so it is technically the right size for the creature. I just wish it was a little bit larger to match the other sized dragons, but sculpt-wise, this thing is sick.
I really like its face.
It is so much more mean-looking.
Look at the wings, too. They have a bunch of scratches and holes in them. Like, he's
been
been through some battles.
They've been doing that a lot recently, and their sculpts, again, you guys saw in the last couple videos, their sculpts are improving a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And this thing, with the fact that you can almost see the skull rather than just scales from, like, the acid almost melting it away, is absolutely wild. I know that I would not want to see something like this in real life, because that is a wicked-looking creature.
Look at all the scales in there, and they're all different sizes. Like, that's a lot of really cool detail that I will say is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, this thing is extremely detailed. I mean,
and look at the joints on its wings, too.
It's almost creepy, because the wings look like claws compared to the previous ones. Like, they each have different joints all the way up. The horns on it are these just gnarly, curled, spiked horns.
Right.
I mean, it's a completely different monster, looks-wise, than the previous ones.
Oh, yeah. I would say the other one kind of almost looked like a ram's head-ish.
Yeah, so I actually have the previous one here. Number one, you can obviously see the size difference, starting just with that.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest downfall, in my opinion. I know a lot of people didn't really like the mega-sized dragons, but I really enjoy these. Just, it gives that extra fear factor that you don't get as much with something this size. I think these really show off how dangerous the creature can be. And I'm not saying that this doesn't look scary, because it sure as hell does. I mean, this thing is but just the differences in it with this having like plate scales along the tail, and then this one actually having protrusions all the way along the back.
It almost has like some fins even towards the bottom where they connect, which is really, really cool. And again, I like the green in this. Like,
yeah, compared to the
tan.
That they did on this.
It looks very natural, but again, this is like an acid dragon that lives in acid. Yes. So I feel like the green is a really good detail and kind of cool. They kept his tail. Yeah. He's got the cute little pointy guy tail, and they were like, you know what, that's pretty iconic. We're gonna keep that. So.
Yeah, almost like a wyvern stinger.
Yeah,
something that
I was just gonna say, like a little stinger.
Yeah, and again, this thing is just so cool overall.
Oh,
the look, I personally wish it was just a hair bigger, because the base that's what that circle is for on the bottom, because technically this black one's actually a huge, and so it's supposed to fit on that base. If you didn't know that previously, when they supersized the dragons, they actually put a white ring for the huge size of what it actually would be. That's
pretty cool.
So it looks like they're bringing things back down to normal size, which I'm okay with. I do like the supersized ones in my personal opinion, but I'm still okay with it, because it does bring the price down a little bit on the dragons, which I don't mind, and they are still extremely epic, and it saves a little bit of room on my shelves, which I've officially ran out of for my dragon shelf. So yeah, overall, sculpt-wise, paint-wise, with the dry brushing on the inside of the wings, even on the back and everything.
Yeah, look at the texture and stuff like there, where you can see where his like little, I guess, like army dues are. Yeah.
They did an absolutely phenomenal job, in my opinion. I really do, really like this miniature. It is absolutely sick. And then when it comes to the actual stats and stuff, from the original to the 2024, It hasn't changed a whole lot. I mean, a little bit of things, basically just to make it easier. Like, they got rid of the claw and tail attacks, and instead they just have rend attacks, which it can make 3, I believe, or 2 or 3 rend attacks instead, which just helps even everything out, I guess, to make it a little bit more simple, so you don't have all these different attacks and things like that. You can just kind of flare them in your own way. So, makes it easier just to play the creature and dumb it down a little bit, I guess is what I would say there. But they did add some really cool stuff.
Oh yeah, like it's the fact that it can actually do spell casting.
Yep.
It's pretty gnarly. It can do insect plague and
Cloud of Insects.
Yep. Excuse me.
And then Melf's Acid Arrow.
And Melf's Acid Arrow, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, it's a kind of good way to balance it, because again, it is taking away from those physical attacks, but again, I like that it's giving it more. Like, it's not just a big, scary, physically scary dragon, it is a force to be reckoned with, and this is pretty cool.
No, and I completely agree with that. I do like what they did. They definitely are slowly making things simpler with the 2024 versions of the Monster Manual and DM's Guide and stuff like that.
Bless you.
But, yeah, just like they have... No, I'm just going to cut it after I sneeze. But with this, I really like the new flight plates. Brian and I were talking about that in one of the previous videos. They've done a really good job of making these very cool thematic positions that they are in. And like this one lifting up off of its rear legs like it's about to either take off or it's landing. And then putting these really nice acrylic supports under them, with actually them being bent and things like that to add a little bit more rather than just being a straight piece of acrylic. I just really enjoy, and again, they're putting them in places that are less visible and actually support it correctly rather than just kind of throwing it out there. And I really like the direction that Wizkids is going. I think these new miniatures that they're coming out with are absolutely sick. And I cannot wait to see the red one.
Oh, I know. It's going to be so cool.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
I'm extremely excited to add this Black Dragon Corruptor to the collection. It's just another amazing piece. Again, you can just tell detail-wise the difference between this, which looks nice and has a decent amount of detail in the scales and things like that, but then you look at the detail on something that's even smaller, and just the difference in scales and the ripples in the wings and stuff looks a lot more natural and realistic compared to the previous ones, and I really am enjoying that. It's just phenomenal, and I'm extremely excited to see what's next for Wizkids. They are coming out with some of the coolest miniatures of all time right now.
Heck yeah.
And I'm just...
These are so cool.
Yeah, overly stoked. The only thing I don't get is why they added the corruptor part to the adult Black Dragon, because it's still just an adult Black Dragon, but it does give that little fear factor in a sense. So I really love this miniature.
Same.
Yeah, I would highly recommend picking one up. Again, the price is a little bit lower than the previous adult ones since they are a little smaller, but the detail is just out of this world. And
100%.
So I would highly recommend it. If you did enjoy this, please do like and subscribe, and we will catch you in the next one.
Cheers.